Sometimes he doesn't get me.
Sometimes she doesn't get me.
When it's all said and done, the journey is ours to figure out.
But as we figure it out, there are facts and fiction that we can only learn by experience.
Our very own experiences, regardless of where they're coming from.
From statements like, men are driven by sex,
to comments like, your marriage will only last if you give your husband a son.
Tight.
When it's all said and done, what matters is whether you can identify what's fact
and what's fiction.
This is Ta.
I'm T. And this is the Married Now What podcast. So welcome to this episode of the Married Now What podcast. Baby, what's up, Ta?
What's up, T?
What's happening with you, girl?
Not much. Summer-ish.
Summer-ish,
2019.
Yeah. Like there's been like no sun. We've had like a week
rain.
of summer. Lots of rain, borderline snow.
I know.
Yeah, it just feels that bad, doesn't it?
The kids that were snowing today.
Speaking of the kids, what's some crazy things they've done for you today?
Malachi told me off, but behind my back.
What did he say?
He said I was me. And he didn't want to talk to us, remember?
Yeah, he walked away.
He said, Mommy, Daddy, and Sissy are so mean. I don't want to talk to them. And it would be a very long time before I talk to them again.
He was legit. Yeah, I guess he was frustrated about stuff.
And he was venting in his room. And this was to himself.
Yeah.
Lucky for him, he wasn't whispering.
Yeah. But I guess that's his way of just dealing with the stresses that come with being the older brother and the firstborn and a child.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, that's the way we discipline, right? Just gotta get it right off the bat. So, babe, today, you know that thing that we see in relationships?
What thing?
That thing that, people have phones that have social media accounts.
Yeah.
But some of the accounts are like, they have like burner social media accounts. Like they've got the real one that everyone else sees, and then they've got another one beside.
Ghosta,
exactly. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's just mean. And let me be the first to tell you that if you want to ghost me, I'll find out.
Yeah.
So don't.
So you got ghosting skills. You can exercise these spirits and get them out.
I will search. I will be all up in your like deleted folders. Like, what's going on here? I'm just like crazy chica.
Yeah.
But
really, why I asked that is just not just as an icebreaker, but because our topic today is on privacy.
Okay.
We've been married for quite a bit now.
Oh, you forgot how long?
No.
As if you say quite a bit.
I'm just we've been married for quite a bit now. My question for you is, how long have we been married? Do you know? She's laughing so she can do the math.
Not even. I'm not laughing at you for even posing it as a question. Like, do you know?
Yeah, we've been married for almost
7 years. We're almost at 8 now.
We're in our 8th year. Okay.
We're almost at like completing.
Oh wow. So yeah. So we've been married for that length of time. And with it has come the whole concept of opening up, building trust, understanding from my perspective that what's mine is yours, right? And what's yours is mine.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I wanted us to talk about privacy, particularly in the area of how in marriage there's that you could easily come pick up my phone, go through it, and there not be a problem there. What are your thoughts on that? And for someone who's starting off, so like they just got married, and how to build trust to the point where privacy isn't a big deal between the both of you?
I think at first glance it seems like a simple thing, but I actually think that it's complex.
Okay.
Right? Because with access to phones, I think in the end the other spouse will get access to your phone.
Yeah.
But it brings up the question of privacy for other people.
Okay.
And so say I have a friend and they're having lady problems, right? Notwithstanding the fact that I'm married, I think a friend of mine would want to feel secure,
right,
that their stories
are between you
and at me, right? Sometimes the other stories that they think, oh no, I wouldn't want a guy to know, or things of that nature, and then you flip the script. A guy friend could be going through some trouble that they feel you could understand better, and then they also don't want me to get to know it. I mean, I'll be very honest with you. There was one time you spoke to a certain friend, and you said so and so said hi, and this was like years ago.
Yeah.
And so I said, how are they doing? And then you said, fine. I'm like, what did you guys talk about? And then you said, I can't talk to you about it. And I was like, okay. Like, that's clear.
Yeah.
But then when I went away and thought of it, I actually respected that. You know, that was his issue, and as long as it didn't impact our relationship, it wasn't something that I was supposed to get access to. I feel like that's still an important part. And so the challenge becomes merging your lives and leading this life together while still being individuals who possibly help individuals on. Maybe it's not even you helping another individual, it's you seeking help.
Yeah.
You know, the other way from somebody else and saying, help me with this, or let me process it. Granted, if you're having problems, it would be ideal for the other party to know.
Other party being spouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's times when you reach out for help before you come to your spouse.
Yeah.
And maybe it's, how do I address this with my spouse? And you want to know from people who've gone before you, or people who can build you, like, okay. And so it's a really tricky,
the fine line
topic.
Granted, it's also tricky where you find the advice, but that topic is for another day. Okay, so I like the fact that you used the words, how it impacts our relationship in the examples that you gave, right? Because a lot of the times I know that it can be conflicting or challenging. Could you, okay, I'm having this private conversation with my friend, right? And I can't tell my spouse, because I mean, when I look at you, you're my best friend, and I don't like to hide things from you. But it also swings it back to the concept of when you have a relationship outside of your marriage that requires confidentiality.
Exactly.
Right? It's important to exercise that person's right to maintain confidence in you. And also it's good for your relationship. Now, doesn't it become a little more complicated now if, say, so-called friend, and I'm asking this based off of what I've observed about, am I going to say the generation behind us or within our generation?
Okay.
There's this whole concept of it's okay to have friends who are of the opposite sex with no consequence. Now, a situation like that with the privacy or confidentiality topic brought to the table, is that a good thing, safe thing? Is that an okay thing in your mind?
No.
Yes, tell us more.
It was just a simple answer, no.
Why? Why isn't it?
I think because it's not safe. It becomes slippery ground when you're dealing with the opposite sex, and you have to at that point involve your spouse.
Okay.
It has to be open. There's so much potential for attachment to develop, the wrong attachment, in trying to help another person out.
Yeah.
And so if somebody's truly your friend of the opposite sex, then they're going to respect the simple fact that you're married.
Yeah.
And that relationship is more important, takes precedence. I'm like, I don't know what the term is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's when it comes to earthly relationships, realizing that that's your number one earthly relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Because I know, yeah, over different observations and conversations I've had, I've started seeing this whole feel of, no, it's okay for, this is my homie. She's my friend, coming from a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, don't do that. What? You know what because like you said, yeah, the attachment concept does happen. Okay, so let's swing round to us being in a relationship that we've been in for over 7 years now. Thank you for
Just that. Relationship?
We have our relationship, right?
Okay, married 7 years. Marriage relationship.
Our relationship is longer than that.
Yeah.
Right. So our marriage has been over 7 years. And we've had our different conflicts, right? Or challenges as we've come to learn each other. Right? Why is it that in our marriage you haven't taken any of our conflict outside of our four walls?
Who said I haven't taken it outside?
Oh, okay, interesting. So you have.
Hey, I'm just asking. I'm like, hey, but you seem so confident that it hasn't gone outside.
It's a trust thing. But even if you have, it hasn't impacted our relationship. So referring back to, but I'm asking from the perspective of privacy, in the sense that do people need to know what's going on in your relationship, and if so, who and why?
I don't know if the term "need to know" is probably the correct thing.
Yeah.
So going by, do people need to know? My simple answer is no. It's just not their business.
Yeah.
Right. And yet, at the same time, I feel like depending on the nature of your conflict, there are times when you need to seek help.
Yeah.
And sometimes that help is from outside of, the two that are involved. And so, I mean, we've gone everywhere for help. but
yeah.
So, we've gone to our previous church pastors. And they've helped us.
We looked at friends. We've reached out to friends individually, and
exactly. And so, there's times when you have to go outside. However, with doing that, you have to be sure that it's a safe place. It's somewhere where you get honest feedback, and where it won't be spread around in a way that will come back to hurt you. The more people you involve in your marriage, the harder it is to resolve
and to
your
manage
conflict.
Yeah.
And so the lesser people you have, the better. If it means just looking for, is iron sharpens iron, looking for somebody to sharpen you and help you out, that is great. There's so many resources though for help. We've had a DVD that we got from
another
auntie
couple.
And uncle.
Yeah, auntie and uncle. Shout out auntie and uncle.
I know. And we got it as a wedding gift.
Yeah.
And it's been super helpful. It's something we always go back to and discuss. And it's amazing to see how even our response to the DVD changes over time. There's the books that we bought. But if you're in a situation that is not safe, please
you need to talk to someone
and seek help and remove yourself from the unsafe situation, and then try and deal with your conflict from a safe space.
Yeah. So unsafe stuff you're talking about is physical, emotional.
Emotional abuse is a tricky one.
Okay.
Because it's really hard to prove emotional abuse. It's not like physical abuse.
You can show
you've got wounds to show for it.
Yeah.
But emotional abuse, especially in the Zimbabwean context, is not something that people understand. And so for me, I just think if you're not safe, get to safety and then work on it. However, I don't know how somebody who's emotionally abused could even go about seeking help, because it's hard enough to say I'm being abused and then not have something physical to show for it.
Yeah.
However, if you're being abused in any shape or form,
you gotta
financial, sexual, physical, emotional, whatever else is there in terms of abuse, get to safety,
Mm-hmm.
and then take it from there.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, because sometimes you think that, no, it's none of your business, and yet a lot of people can see that this person is in an abusive situation and stuff. So I agree. I agree with you, girl. So when it comes to privacy between us, where's the threshold? Like, where is it like a no-go area for you when it comes to me?
What do you mean a no-go area?
Like the things that you would compartmentalize and say, I'm not going to talk to Tia about. I need to talk to, or I need to figure out how I'm going to handle it. It's private to me. And then maybe I'll divulge to him. In essence, secrets, right? That you may have. Do you have any secrets?
Oh, no. Why am I on the hot seat?
It's not about hot seat because, I mean, it's so
you haven't answered any questions.
I haven't, right? So you can go ahead and ask, babe. Go ahead.
You can just answer your own questions.
Sure.
Well, like I said in the examples, there's things that don't really affect your life.
Yeah.
Right. So there's things that I'll share. Say, if there's good news and a certain friend is expecting, it's like, oh, yay, I'm going to be an auntie again. That's good. There's some stuff that I just don't think they are helpful to you in any way or shape.
Yeah.
Right. And so those things, especially when it's about others, they just stay there.
Yeah.
Right. As we try to have our own relationship. And so I think for the most part, there's that. There's also like
yes.
Actually, no, because my online orders are out in the open, and so let's talk about secrets. Let's
Amazon.
Let's stay here.
Let's talk about Amazon and eBay. And I don't buy on eBay. Amazon. Yes, my cart is full. Do I have the money to buy what's in the cart? No. Do I surprise the tender buying some stuff? Yeah, as a matter of fact, there was a package that came in today that
every fortnight.
But I told you though. Huh. But you didn't tell me the package that came in for you.
That was a mistake. For you, it's like, oh, I really saw something I really like, and then surprise, there's something in the mail that says Donald should pick up mail. I'm like, dude, where did this come from?
But here's a question though, like, without going too much into the wormhole, when it comes to doing shopping online and purchasing orders and all that stuff, I don't think it's a private matter, and I don't think I don't think I'm hiding anything, because the reality of it is it's still gonna have to get here, and I'm still gonna have to use it at some point, right? And you're gonna see it.
How many times do I find new equipment,
gadgets?
Yeah.
You have to be careful about how you say equipment.
I know. I thought about it when I said it. I was like, what equipment?
You have to be careful, girl. Right?
Please.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
You need to go to church and get
baptized again.
Oh,
yes, cleansing.
I know. Your mind
in the spirits. It's oh yeah.
But like, okay, how many times I find something new? Like today.
What did you find?
You had this new.
It's for your benefit.
It is, but there's always something. So I'm like, this is new.
But even the stuff that you get,
probably picked it up and took it to work. Like picked it up from the post office. It went straight to work, and then I'm seeing it now. He goes, oh, it's old. It's been in my bag for so long. And
it's been there for a while. I've been using it to work for a long time.
Keep it?
There ain't no secrets being kept, girl.
Your phone chargers and stuff, they're all like fancy.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
Convenience is a good thing to take advantage of, right?
You only see them when you go on your annual leave, like a year later.
Girl, you saw that charger, the wireless charger.
You brought it home when you went on annual.
Well, before that, you've seen it before. You've used it before. See, so it's for your benefit too.
Okay, answer your own questions now.
But yeah, no, back to the privacy and the whole aspect of secrets and stuff. I think there are, like we've talked about, there are things that are discussed outside of our walls, outside of the fence, so to speak. our relationship being what's fenced in, right? And with different people, there's different advice that you want to share with other people, or different things that people have challenges with that they want to find out from you how you handled and stuff. And so I make it a point that when I'm talking to people, it's either when they've said it off the bat that they don't want, it's private, it's confidential, I'm not repeating it to you.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's a situation where they've gone as far as saying, let me rewind. I go as far as asking them, okay, is this something that should stick between us, right? And all these people are male, right? The others that are female that may come to talk to me, they would have talked to you, right? Or it may be a situation where they come talk to me, but I make it known to you. I go as far as saying, yo, you're asking me about this, but I'm going to have to talk to my wife about it, right? Reason being is there's the whole concept of being accountable to you. There's the whole concept of protecting and keeping things in the open. Because if it becomes a secret, then why am I hiding it, right? There are things that are unnecessary, or at least, or as the kids would say, unnecessary.
Is that necessary?
It's not necessary. There are things that are just not necessary to keep, confidential. And if I want to protect my marriage, in as much as I am an individual, I am responsible and accountable to you. So,
and me too.
Yeah. So like the secrets, Maya, they're no secrets, girl. Then if there are any, they'll surface at some point. So ain't no point in hiding them. Kind of like, it's like, yeah, online shopping. The package gotta get it's gotta get here at some point. So
always when it gets here, it's like,
yeah, that's when you do explain. But I mean, I'm not the only man. No, the only person who does that.
Women who do that.
Who's like, yeah, no, I'll deal with the.
It's usually shoes that come and they get hidden under the sink. This whole.
Are there any shoes under the sink that I don't know about?
I ain't keeping a secret. I'm telling you before I order. Like, I'm telling you I need A, B, C, D, and then I order it.
Yeah, that's true. You're very clear about that. Yeah. So yeah, but the concept of privacy is important. And I mean, there are people who are out there putting their relationship online. There was that lady who went on her rants over her relationship and how dude had cheated on her.
Oh, that's Olinda though. She's an entertainer.
She just went straight there and said, no, that's Olinda.
That's Olinda though. Olinda's an entertainer.
Is that so? That's part of her entertainment? Or
I don't know. It's her real life, but hey,
right.
Olinda's just.
You let her be.
Yeah.
I guess that's her outlet.
It's her cry for help.
Yeah.
And how she handles. Right? And for me, a part of me says, let's talk about these things. I'm one of those people who's saying, for years and years, we've protected people that do things. What are they called? The words skip my mind. But
people who do things?
Yeah, like the people that cause harm have been protected for so long. So
the
abusers
word is, or
forget the word, it's gone.
Yeah.
But and so I think she's one of those who's saying, I'm going to expose. You find lately with social media being what it is, there's a lot of women coming up and saying, this is what my husband did to me, and just speaking out. Right? And so I know I'm not going to be pulled into, do I support Olinda or Titan or Stana or whoever else, that discussion, no.
Yeah,
but I feel like to a certain extent that
it's a cry for help.
It's a cry for help, and that people who do mean things to others must be exposed.
Yeah, they must be exposed too.
And so that's just me.
Yeah, no, because I mean,
it goes from Lamech, like people should just be called out.
Let the truth be known.
Yeah,
and you know what? I hear you. I feel for people who go through those situations. I kind of see where you're coming from. Like I salute people who go as far as exposing people for what they really are, whatever channels they use, and whatever the consequences are on the other side. If a person did it, they did it, right? I think a lot of us have this fixation on how it's packaged and how it has to be put out there, right? It has to be politically correct, so to speak.
And what will people think?
Exactly.
It's always about pleasing people. What are people going to think?
And what about the victim? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If the victim is hurting about it and they chose this avenue, are you going to kick them whilst they're still down, or are you going to help them and say, okay, you know what? Maybe it would be better to do this in private. Right, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out.
People have told Linda's not going to know private, nothing.
Which is fine. So that's her preference, right? I guess if we're looking at it from the perspective of it's a cry for help, then you only hope that there's a sense of privacy for her, that she can gain, right, as opposed to losing, right, so that she can go through her process of healing and stuff, right? But yeah, when it's all said and done, would you say that marriages and things happening within marriages are none of people's business?
Yes. I think there's a level of sharing, though, that's okay. That's just me. I like seeing happy couples on Facebook. Not like fake happiness, but people that are
like
actually
real deal,
happy, and people that are in love. And, and I'm not saying certain people are genuine and certain people are fake. But when you know that the way this couple is on Facebook is the way they are in their home. Right? When the camera's off. I like seeing that. I like seeing older couples in love. It keeps me encouraged.
Yeah.
Right? I'm always learning from what I see. I'm always thinking, oh wow, it is possible.
Yeah.
Right? We're this fortunate enough to have parents who've stayed married through whatever challenges. And so we're encouraged by that. But then being out here where divorces are just going on left, right, and center, it's very encouraging to see more couples, that have been together 40, 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
I remember watching Black Love. It was so refreshing.
To see black couples. Simply because of that, how they say, this is going to be so politically incorrect, we say black couples, but they are black couples though. What are you going to say?
Yeah, but I think that comes from that same to me bias, right? That sometimes you want to see somebody who looks like you, or you want to relate. And from wanting to relate and seeing African American or whatever they were, dark skinned couples and at different stages in their
relationships, figuring it out,
and just figuring out, and them saying, these are the challenges we had and this is how we went through, was pretty encouraging. So for me, if it's sharing just to encourage or to express your love, I'm all for that. I'm all for do it to the level that it suits you, protects your relationship,
exactly, grows others, inspires others.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I'm not for just, I don't know, I'm a bag full of irony, because I was going to say I'm not for exposing others like your husband. Let me say, I'm not for exposing your spouse if you're going to stay with them, because you look stupid.
Because what's the point?
Right, you look stupid for coming out. If I came out and said, "Oh, Tinashe is such a fool," or he sucks, blah blah blah. Today,
he buys on Amazon.
No, that sure, and then come back tomorrow and be like,
"I love Tinashe; he's the most amazing,"
and guy. Still be together.
Yeah.
Now that would mean I'm the crazy one for staying through that. So things like that, I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Right. And this is when mentors or role models or whatever you call them could be helpful, because you could turn to them and talk to them, and then once you're done. They don't look at you tomorrow and think you're crazy for staying.
Yeah.
Right? They just help you through it, and they're with you, and they go on. So that's the level of sharing for me.
Awesome. Well, baby, what I'm taking away from this is that privacy within marriage, within a relationship, depends on what factors are at play. So if it's confidentiality that's been requested by someone outside of the marriage, there are key factors to consider, right? What gender are they?
True.
Right?
For our marriage,
What gender are they? that plays a part, because you don't want to set yourselves up for, temptation or different struggles, in the future and stuff. And also how important it is to pick and choose what's shared outside of your relationship with those that are outside of the fence.
Yes.
All right? Because you could share the wrong stuff, like you start talking about your the marriage bed, right? Your intimate discussions and intimacy that's confined to your relationship with the wrong people, and therein put yourself in a fix as well.
I also think there's an aspect of confidentiality for your spouse.
Yes.
There's some things that your spouse is going to bring to you
in confidence.
Yes, and from a point of being open and vulnerable. And the last thing you want is for them to hear it on the street.
Yeah. Jeez.
Right? Like, that would sting. And so, yes, there's confidentiality of like friends and family, but there's that of your spouse, because you have a trust, hopefully.
Yeah.
And you have an understanding at a different level from everyone else. So I wouldn't want to tell you that, like, I'm a shopaholic and then find it on the street tomorrow. It's an example.
Yeah, no, I heard that. I heard that, babe. Yeah, and also, I guess for what we can challenge, here's what I think others should think about when they have this discussion with their spouses on privacy is, how comfortable are you with your spouse going through your phone right now? How comfortable are you with your spouse going through your social media accounts? All of them. Yeah. Not the ghost ones, right? Not all of them. Not all of them. Every single one. How comfortable are you? Is he or she going to find stuff that they're going to question? Kind of like how we went through my Facebook and not out of request, but you're like, do you have any pictures from like way back? And
we needed a certain picture too.
Yeah, and I didn't remember.
We were looking. No.
Do you remember?
Oh, this was a question. This is a thing. Let's just put it out there.
Okay,
no
go ahead.
Privacy.
Yeah.
My question was, and it wasn't while I was asking you, it was about somebody else.
Yeah.
And so I said, why is it you never posted a picture of me on Facebook before we got married?
That's right.
And then I said, I wasn't on Facebook, but I know
you don't have a picture.
We didn't have pictures together on your profile up until our wedding day.
Yeah.
And then after our wedding day, there's pictures of me appearing then.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why guys do that? Because a friend had asked me the same question. Yeah. She's not on her boyfriend's profile. She was wondering why. And so it was at that point when she did that I figured, but wait a minute.
This dude didn't
put a picture of me either. So what is going on? Because my here we go. Starting a new session. Because my answer to her had been like in my head, oh, this guy's probably having other relationships. Or, keeping his options open. Or he's already got a family.
Yeah.
And so then I thought, okay, yes, T, I'm going to ask T. And at that point, you went, I didn't?
Exactly.
Let's go and look.
I don't even remember, right? Yeah. So the reason why, when I think about it, I was too busy caught up in our relationship to the point where I was like, I didn't even consider or think about it. But the other side of things was, I didn't have a camera, girl. I did it. You had the camera. You had the cool pics. You know what I mean? You remember the one that I had?
Okay, we're going to let the listeners vote. Do you think T was keeping his options open?
or am I telling the truth by saying that I didn't have a camera to take pictures of us?
I didn't have a camera. Yeah. Okay, you know what? On the day, Tinashe said to me, well, it's because we didn't meet before we got married. And I'm thinking, yeah, right, whatever. We did meet before we got married.
Yeah.
We met and went on vacation.
We got engaged and all that stuff.
And yeah.
I don't know, girl.
And still I didn't appear on his Facebook. I think we need a different session for this one, just to hear from Tinashe on why he did this.
Forensics. Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm up for any questions. I'm up for any doubters about my profile, and why I didn't have pictures of Tao on there.
Okay, so you brought it up because when Tinashe went to his Facebook,
I found an old picture of go ahead.
You actually gave a disclaimer. You just said, "Oh, I haven't gone back to those old pictures in a long time. If you see anything
It's
or anyone, it's old."
Yeah.
And then I said, "Well, I kind of know there's stuff on there. That's okay. Whatever."
Now everyone is gonna go to my profile. Now I'm gonna have a lot of friends this after this podcast.
He kind of deleted. There's one that I saw, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't there anymore.
Which one
this
is that?
time, screen time. You took it off. You took it off. It used to be on Facebook. It used to be on your Facebook.
I think there was a stage where I went through my profile and started untagging pictures that I was tagged on.
Oh.
Right? Out of respect for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because people tag, right? And you have pictures of girls of Christmas past. You know what I mean? Like, they're like from ways, like 2000, 2000. When did Facebook start? You know?
Like 2000.
Like when it was still starting, right? Those kinds of things, where the excitement and the hype.
Yeah, because it used to be there for the longest time. And then this time it wasn't, and I thought, oh, okay.
Yeah. Privacy is a beautiful thing, but also openness and vulnerability is very critical in a relationship, especially in the marriage relationship. So I definitely get it. All right, my social media accounts are open to you, girl. You know where to find the password. All right, you can go through all of them. But let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion on this with our spouses out there. You special listeners, you wonderful people, you. Talk about it with your significant other about privacy and what that looks like to you. Right? I'd be interested to get to learn
what it looks like for different people.
Yeah, and what the boundaries
because it looks
look
like different things.
It does, right? With different experiences. So yeah, this is this episode of Married Now What?
That's it.
She is
Tatinda.
and I am Tinashe.